we're just going to give you kind of the rapid fire review of some really good hits that are coming out that we thought we should definitely include in this. This first one we're talking about is Everything Everywhere All at Once. We'll let Ann talk about this Madverse insanity, and what was this one about?
So I have to tell you, I went watching to watch this movie with really high expectations. It is by the way streaming on Showtime, and you can pick it up if you have a Showtime subscription on Prime Video. It is right there. I absolutely loved it. You know how much I
Yeah,
love sci-fi. You know how much we do sci-fi in real life at work, and this is just all my dreams come true all at one place where this lady's jumping verses. And you know
yeah,
what? We talk about interoperability. She's highly interoperable.
yeah.
So this movie is directed and written by two gentlemen called Daniel Scheinert and Daniel Kwan, and they're collectively and fittingly known as the Daniels. And it's just crazy. I remember the debut movie was a Swiss Army Man, and in that movie, there's Paul Dano, and he had a corpse friend. He's a dead person who was his friend, played by Daniel Radcliffe, by the way. And they shoot out of a river propelled by the power of Manny's farts. All right. And
Yep.
as they fly through the air, they sing a song to each other that goes, "You have to remember that we're all here for a purpose, and the universe picks its time. Everything everywhere matters to everything." And
Yep.
I guess they took that specific thing, everything everywhere matters to everything, and then they must have worked on this script, this crazy script. And by the way, guys, if you do not know, Everything Everywhere All at Once already received so many industry awards. It received the Motion Picture Academy Awards as well, but it's also nominated for around 11 categories at the Oscars. So wait for it. This movie is just phenomenal. Now, I have to tell you, at the base of it, the story is about a woman called Evelyn who runs a laundromat, and she's got taxes. You know, her life between taxes, IRS, and other stuff.
Yeah.
And she's just this might be, as Evelyn Wong, Michelle Yeoh's maybe her best performance ever. And she has a very overtly optimistic husband, Waymond, who's equally fantastic. He's Kehui Kwan, and remember him from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, same guy.
Yep.
So these two just live a normal life, and then this craziness starts. They trying to fend off an IRS auditor called Deirdre Buberda, and that's played by Jamie Lee Curtis. She is crazy. She is fringe crazy, and she accuses the couple of tax fraud. And over the year, apparently, Evelyn, who loves musical romances on television, and you see a Sunita Mani in a sari dancing on television, and Evelyn absolutely loves her, and she's harbored dreams of being everything from a singer or a novelist to a therapist, and she's taken all of these businesses as whatever she spent on all these businesses as deductions from her laundromat business. So IRS is at her doorsteps, and they have to go to IRS officer, or she's an auditor, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, and they have to convince her that they can redo the taxes, and the officer gives them a few hours to redo it. Now, her husband tells her that, okay, the only way to escape is that if you literally start understanding that you're here because you are in this role here, and if you start jumping verses to your other roles, where you could be a Pixar character or you could be a Kung Fu master, then you won't have to go to jail here. So that entire craziness of the plot, where they had to find a pivot to literally jump out of jump out of one verse to another and do this multiverse journey, is just crazy. It's just crazy. And then there's a daughter Joy, played by Stephanie Su, and there's a visiting father from China. His name is Gong Gong. It's played by James Hong, and she's scared of telling her father that her daughter is gay. And so that's this entire story going on about her daughter who thinks that, my mother doesn't stand up for me and my sexuality, while the father is just sitting there and all he wants is breakfast the entire time. So so Evelyn's life changes when another version of Raymond tells Evelyn that she is just one of many Evelyns, and what she needs to do is that she has the power to defeat a very powerful villain called Jobu Tupaki. And it seems Jobu Tupaki is actually their daughter in another verse. So that entire story just becomes crazy. It is frenetic. It's truly ridiculous. It has a barrage of possibilities and multiverse jumping and anything that you can imagine. The Daniels have bought it out and thrown into this movie. It's called Everything Everywhere All at Once for a reason. It's a bombardment of hot dog fingers, googly eyes all over. There's a Wong Kar-Wai homages. There's fanny packs, which they put pebbles into fanny packs and do the kung fu. And this incredibly strong pinkie fingers, the talking rocks, the 9 Days song, the raccoons. There's a guy who plays Santa Claus in I Think You Should Leave, and then the Iris Awards, which are in the shape of rectal plugs, basically. So
Yeah.
it is so much that happens in this movie that it's amazing that it didn't really blow your mind, but it really blows your mind in a very good way, because it's so beautifully crammed together that it is an absurd mess, but yet it is beautifully put together. And then in the whole thing, it's just like somebody thought of things, and no restraints, no stops, no ideas too wild, that it's not a possibility. So whatever is possible, they've literally put that all into this movie. It's but beyond the mess that it shows at the front of it, there is an extremely touching story about the paths that we take in our lives, and the paths we didn't take, and how it leads us to exactly where we need to be. And in a very big way, it's very karmic. And given that the Daniels are the guys who made a guy's friendship with a dead body a truly moving story, this movie has exhilarating possibilities. I absolutely loved it. Performances by Yu, Kwon, Sue are brilliant, with so many versions of all these characters running around in the multiverse madness. How they're able to meet the challenge that the Daniels have thrown to them, it's just phenomenal. Loved it. Must watch.